Welcome, my name is Talina. I'm excited to do your brows today. Let's chat about your goals. Hi Talina, great, thank you. Wow, I'm actually really nervous. I love your work. I've been following you for years. I wanted to do this for so long, and now I'm here. I'm just a bit nervous. That's perfectly normal, Felicia. If you didn't care about your brows, you wouldn't be here. Are you more concerned about how it's going to feel or how it's going to look? Well, I'm not worried about the pain because I ordered the numbing product that you recommended. I just don't want big black slugs on my face. I want really natural, no offense, but I see some really crazy dark brows and it's just not me. My husband's low-key freaking out too, but I've assured him that I really did my research. I know exactly what to ask for. I just want a few feathered strokes at the front here and here where I have no hair, and I just want to fill in the gaps. For me, maybe make the tails a little bit longer, but nothing too much. I don't want them too dark. Did I already say that? I just want natural. I completely understand your fears. This is on your face and there's no escaping it if you don't like it, right? This is exactly why we take careful steps to ensure a result you love. We're always aiming for a natural looking healed result 100% of the time. My goal for you is to have brows that suit your natural face from first thing in the morning with no other makeup, when you get out of the shower or when you get out of bed. This is going to be the best tattoo that you've never seen. First we draw, shape and measure. You have to approve the shape before we proceed. The next step is I'll numb the area and then custom color blend to suit your natural tones. I'll show you the color first on your skin and you can let me know if you're happy with that or if you'd prefer a little bit darker or a little bit lighter. We're always more conservative with the first treatment so that there is room to go darker or thicker at the touch-up if you decide to. With our careful steps, normally the worst thing that can happen is it can heal too light or in some circumstances not hold at all, in which case we'll adjust our technique at the touch-up. With that being said, are you prepared that your brows will be too dark for at least a week of healing? Super dark, scary. And the reason this happens is because of the healing process. You know when you cut or scratch yourself, you form a scab? The scab's like a dark browny black color. It's exactly the same principle here. Even if I tattooed an invisible blonde color, it would still take on the dark form of a normal, very superficial scab. An interesting part of the healing process is that you'll just start to get used to them being too dark and then the color disappears. Also a normal part of the healing, and this is written in your aftercare, is that because the new collagen that grows under the scab is very opaque in color, it actually makes the pigment appear dull and like it's gone. So there's a section in your aftercare that says where did the color go? It explains it in greater detail. All you need to do is keep the skin nourished and protected and the color will gradually return. I'll go into this more when we go through your aftercare. I'm just giving you the lowdown now of the worst case scenarios, which as you would have read here before signing, we can't guarantee the healed color outcome of any cosmetic procedures. We do, however, guarantee you're in expert hands, and the reason why your touch-up is included free with your treatment is so that we can guarantee we are looking after you to get the best possible final outcome. What do you mean you can't guarantee the color? It's just a tattoo, why would it not work for me? That is such a good question. Because we're depositing pigment very superficially into your skin, so superficially that there isn't even any visible bleeding. Our methods are safe with minimal downtime, no permanent damage. However, there are individual lifestyle factors that can affect how long it'll hold in your skin or how well it will hold in your skin. For example, if you have a high metabolism or use a lot of actives in your skincare, then you are likely to metabolize the pigment at a slightly faster rate. The reason we're not using permanent ink is because skin changes over time, fashion changes, and we want to be able to adjust your brows accordingly so that they're current with the times. Not only that, but every individual is beautifully unique and it's not one size fits all. Very similar to how medication works for one person and not for another. It is an overall tried and tested system, but it's not always going to yield the exact same result for every person. So we're always erring on the side of caution until we know how the skin holds the pigment. And then we can make those perfecting adjustments at your touch-up. Oh wow, cool, that's a relief. I also wanted to ask you about discoloration. My friend's grandma has blue brows and my best friend has orange brows. Can this happen to me? Those cases of discoloration are likely to be either from a dark, permanent ink being used, especially in the case of the blue brow situation, or the artist has gone too deep and they've turned into a permanent dark mess. With regards to the orange, this is a very typical side effect of microblading. We don't apply any of those damaging methods or techniques. We work diligently to protect our canvases long term. In the unlikely event that they do heal slightly warm or cool, we can easily modify that as an adjustment. Perfect, that's a relief. So how long will they last? As I mentioned earlier, every client is different how long the pigment lasts. It depends a lot on individual factors such as sun exposure, your metabolism, skincare products, even your diet can cause accelerated fading. My diet? I eat okay. I'm sure you do. But my pigments are made up of minerals such as iron oxides, and believe it or not, if you have a mineral deficiency for any reason such as anemia, thyroid disorders, or a vegetarian diet, then your body will absorb the minerals from your eyebrows. Wow, well, I don't have any of those things, so what's a ballpark figure here? Like, when do I need to get them redone? Really good question. Typically, we suggest anywhere from 6 months to 3 years. Light will always fade quicker than dark as well. So for our fair colored clients, we don't get as much value as we like, but I do recommend letting them fade as much as possible before returning for a refresh, just so that we can avoid color congestion in the skin. If ever you're unsure, you can always book in for a complimentary review and we can advise you accordingly. Love, love, love that. Awesome. Now let's talk about the techniques. Now you did mention you wanted feather strokes throughout your brows. Are you aware that this method does still have gaps? Similar to this example here. Also, with regards to bringing those fronts in closer, it actually looks way more natural and fades much nicer if we fade out the fronts into a pixelated ombre fade. Hair strokes can often look more intense due to the fact that every hair stroke is 100% pigment. Whereas an ombre effect, we're building up tiny delicate pixels and creating a fade. So my recommendation for you, considering you mentioned your goal is to fill in the gaps, bring the fronts in closer and elongate your tails, would be a really soft ombre brow with a soft fade at the fronts. That does make sense, except the ombre technique does look really dark, like I only want light. Absolutely, I want that for you too. We'll blend a nice medium warm brown for you. It's not possible for it to heal dark because it's not a dark color. It only looks dark when it's first done because it's a fresh wound. I'll show you the color before we start so that you can see it's definitely not a dark color. Amazing, let's do it. Don't lie down yet, I map you from sitting up.